Hello everybody in Facebook land. I think I'm live, just trying to adjust. It's been a while since I did a live in Facebook and all these tips and goodness knows what are popping up all over the screen. And I'll just pop onto my phone and make sure that I am live. Yes, I am live. I look, the room looks way wider on my phone than it does on the computer. So let me just tag everybody and see if we get anybody online. So if you are online, do say hello. So hi Jen, hi Nicole. Nice to see you. There's a couple of other people, so do make sure you comment and say hello. Obviously I'm not having a sale tonight, so I didn't make that clear in my communication today, but yeah, I decided well, I'll tell you about not having a sale tonight. So hi Melissa, how are you? So I think I've decided at this point in time that I'm only going to have a sale every fortnight, and there's a couple of reasons for that. Hi Jenny, how are you? So I've been having, for those who have been following me for a long time, you probably already know this, but I've been having, hi Simone, been having a weekly sale now, every week, pretty much every week, you know, with the odd one here and there, not having a sale, every week for about maybe 4.5 years now. So that's a really long time. So, and you know, I love it obviously, and but I've been you know, unwell over the last 12 months. Hi Louise, hi Nicole. I've been unwell on and off over the last 12 months. I had myocarditis. You've probably read all about this. Had myocarditis post-COVID, and that was pretty much 12 months that I had the myocarditis, and it's really only kind of slowed down, stopped in the last, let's say 3 months. And then hi Lee, and then I've had this pinched nerve in my neck, which is actually kind of in my shoulder blade, for the last I don't know, since about mid-May. So, and over that time of being unwell, and you know, I've got elderly parents who are also unwell and looking after them, I've, you know, had a lot of time to reflect and to think, and doing the crystal drop every week, even though I have Jen's help. So for those of you who don't know Jen or who Jen is my assistant, and she actually doesn't live in Australia. She lives in the Philippines, and we've never met face to face. We talk on Zoom, of course, and you know, all day, every day online. But she's in the Philippines, so she's not physically here to help me, which is a huge shame. I do have a couple of people here in Australia who come and help me, which I are very, very grateful for. And yeah, so for those who just missed out, I've been having a sale every week for just over 4, maybe 4.5 years, when the, you know, memories pop on Facebook. So I think moving forward for a little while, I'm just going to pull them back to fortnightly. I'm sure some of you might be disappointed, and I'm sure other of you will be going, thank God I can keep some money in my purse for a little while. So that doesn't mean you should go find somewhere else to buy crystals from, by the way. Hi Mel, how are you going? Nice to meet you as well. So Sharon's one of my lovely customers. She's been around for a long time, which is really perfect and beautiful. So if you're on, do say hi. So yeah, every fortnight, and there's a few other reasons for that as well. Part of that is I'm really busy, and as you know, I like to hand pick my crystals. Even the ones that I buy overseas, I still buy, you know, usually one-on-one with one of, you know, my suppliers on like video chats and through WhatsApp and things like that. So I still like to pick them one-on-one. Hi Debbie, hi Rob, hi Marianne, hi Raquel. So I just don't have a lot of time for that. So, hi Linda, how are you, lovely? I don't have a huge amount of time to be able to go and buy crystals, which is part of the other reason that I'm going to pull back to fortnightly sales at this stage. A little bit later, I've got a couple of trips planned. So I've got a big trip planned, driving trip to Queensland next month. And that'll give me a great opportunity to visit all of my suppliers. I've got maybe 5 or 6 suppliers up the east coast of Australia. So, and a lot of the things that I get from them, I can't get here in Melbourne or even can't get overseas without, you know, being ripped off a lot of the time. So I'll have a huge trip planned I have got a huge trip planned next month, and I've also I love Indonesian crystals. I get a lot of my crystals when I travel over to Bali, and I'm going over in October. So I'm only there for 5 days. So I plan on leaving my partner Jane at the pool while I head off and visit a couple of my suppliers over there, and really hoping that I get a couple of more Andaras while I'm over there, either from Egypt, because my supplier travels backwards and forwards to Egypt and lives in Bali and Egypt, which is really beautiful. So hopefully I'll be able to catch up with her if she's in Bali at the time that I'm there. So yes, I'm not going to have a sale tonight, and so we'll have one next week, which will be great. Hi Tiffany, how are you? Tiffany, is all your abundance still flowing? Tiffany's been finding money all over the place, which is so amazing. So I think we can all share in that abundance, if that's okay, Tiff. So I wanted to tell you the other reason too, or the other things that are going on in the background. So, my first love is crystals, and being a crystal healer and working with crystals every day, and also the education. My second love is, well, actually, it's probably my third love in terms of crystals, is selling crystals. I love that I sell crystals, and I love that I have lots of people supporting me. Hi Anne, how are you? Love that I have lots of people supporting me, but the actual retail side of selling crystals is not my first love. So as you might imagine, my worst job in the whole process is wrapping and packing your crystals, which is why I have a couple of beautiful people that come and help me on occasions. Hi Robin, how are you? Because I absolutely hate it, and it takes me a really long time to do it, because mostly I ogle the crystals and go, oh, you're really lovely, I should have maybe not sold you. So that's why it takes me a long time to do that, and I can get a bit slack if I don't get my people in to help me. Hi Fran, oh lucky you. I love the Alinda Forest over that way. It's a beautiful place over that. I have a friend who lives over in Selby, which is a really beautiful, right on the edge of the forest, which is really beautiful. So welcome, thank you for joining in if you're on holidays or having a relaxing time. So I love buying crystals. I love working with crystals. When my partner always says, I've never heard someone say, oh my God, so many times when I unwrap my crystals, even when I've bought them here in Melbourne or somewhere in Australia, come home, unwrap them, and go through the process of weighing them and pricing them and putting them in the database. I love that process, because even though you see something beautiful when I pick it up at the wholesalers, when I get it home, I often see much different things in the crystals that I love, and really enjoy that process. Taking photos of them, I'm not a very good photographer, and I've tried to get a few people to help me do that, but they're all about making things look beautiful, and they take a really really long time to take photos. So I just kind of do that myself, and it takes a really long time. So the one night of a crystal drop usually takes sort of 3.5 days of my week. And I would really rather spend my time working with my clients, either one-on-one or in group settings. So those who have missed it, so I'm just going to have a sale every Thanks, Nicole. Sometimes they're not very good. And then other times people message me and they're like blown away by, how beautiful the crystal is, because the photo has not done it any justice whatsoever. So, that's a good thing, I suppose. And the other great thing, I've got a client at the moment, which is part of my coaching. So some of you will have seen my posts about my coaching, and I've been coaching in the background, for many years. And I'm trying to pivot more into that space where I can help, my clients and my students move into where they want to go to. So one of my clients at the moment, I'm writing some, which is not a soul-based business or a spiritual-based business, but I'm writing a training package for them, which has been huge. And for those of you who, most of you probably don't know my background. So moving into my business full-time, my background has been vocational education and training. So for many years, for 25 years, I was in the corporate world, managing training organisations. And as a side of that, where I kind of started from there, was technical writing and desktop. What was called desktop publishing now is kind of like content creation. So that was my background. So I still kind of delve in and out of there. And so I've been writing this training package that is not much fun, but it's a lot of information and is taking up a lot of my time, and also trying to help them get their training academy up and going, which is something that I really love. And the other part of that in my coaching, where I'm kind of trying to take that, thanks Sharon, to take that is really into people who want to start their soul-based businesses, whether it be in the spiritual field or, just kind of heart-centered. Because as you know, I teach crystal healing, I teach Reiki. I've stopped teaching the shamanism so much. I'm kind of leaving that more for one-on-one training and, my retreats. So, and a lot of those people have got amazing skills. They're amazing healers. A lot of my students are amazing healers and want to go on and start their businesses, but they really don't know how to do that. So that's where my coaching is going, is helping people start their business and run their business. And the other side of my coaching stuff is for people who are already in their businesses and actually want to teach their craft or teach their skill. So there's not many people out there, teaching people from the grassroots what it means to teach people. And it's not necessarily a skill that everybody has. And, because at the moment, if you're following kind of, Instagram marketing and all of those kinds of things, it's all about course creation, online course creation. But most people have got no concept of what it actually means to teach adults. So that's where my coaching is going. Thank you, Robin. I'm really not a great photographer. So sometimes I look at the photos and think, oh my goodness me. So, and it all depends on the light here in Geelong. So if it's not a well lit day, you can always tell that I've taken the photos outside on the grass, where the natural light gets the beauty of the crystals. And of course, using the light box and the LED lights drive me nuts, because I get all the little dots across it, and some people comment about that, and I can't help it sometimes, but to get the best light of the crystal depends, where I need to take that. So I just wanted to tell you a little bit about that. And of course, earlier this year, probably I think in February or March, I can't remember, the year's going so quickly, I decided to end the Crystal Lovers Chit Chat, which I had been running on a monthly basis in Zoom actually for about 18 months. We had a great little following there, and we had lots of steady people coming in, and then we also had lots of new people coming in every month. But it just felt like the energy needed to move and change, and for me to be doing new things. And prior to that, for maybe 12 months before that, I did a live every Tuesday night on Facebook. So for those of you who have been around for that period of time, you might remember that, and I really liked that. But the reason that I decided to move it into Zoom is so that we could be a little bit more intimate, that I could actually see people and not just be kind of talking to myself or, you know, waiting for people to write comments, and that people were able to directly ask me questions, and of course to do some crystal meditation, which at the time I didn't feel that comfortable in offering crystal meditation online. Even though we put them on YouTube, it just didn't feel right to do them on Facebook. So, and in saying that, I thought I might do a bit of a meditation tonight. So, and there, I haven't finished telling you everything else that's going on. So I've actually got some courses, online courses coming up. So I run, you know, over the last few years, I've been running little courses here, there, and everywhere. You know, like intro to crystals, or crystals one-on-one, and crystals. There's been a whole bunch of them. There's been using a pendulum. There's been using creating crystal elixirs. There's been crystal grids, and also, of course, the accredited workshops, the crystal healing. And it's kind of come to a stage where I really love running those workshops, but what I want to do is create an online version of those courses that are still really interactive, so that you know, anyone who wants to do them at any point in time, self-paced, can do those. And they'll be cheap offerings as well. You know, they won't be Mickey Mouse courses. They'll be quality courses, and they will be, you know, me having a general chit chat, and they'll be supported by, you know, workbooks and things like that. And that will help people. People won't have to wait for me to run a live workshop. They can go off and do, you know, a little course about whatever it is that they want to learn. And then if people are interested in coming along and doing crystal healing, because a lot of people want to know about crystals, but they don't necessarily want to be a crystal healer. So they can do all these courses, and then if you're interested, you can come and learn crystal healing with me, which is kind of the accredited program that I run. So that's all the stuff that's going on in the background, and which is why I'm really busy. So hi Lynn, how you going? So if anybody does have any questions about crystals, do comment in the box in the comments, and I will answer those questions as I go. And if you have got a crystal close by, I invite you to grab it, and, you know, we might do a little crystal meditation. A part of, you know, offering education around crystals, you know, is empowering you to find out yourself about crystals. I somehow found myself in a group that's for crystal beginners, and the number of questions that people ask on there, I just think, you know, why don't you just Google that? It'd be a whole lot quicker and easier. But of course, you know, they want the interaction with people. And I spend a lot of time working with crystals. I've spent a lot of time in the past studying crystals, and I still continue to do that every day. And I still test a lot of crystals. So some of you will have been on live, you know, online with me and tested crystals before. What's a couple that I've done? Actually, I've got a piece here of the amber that I've tested. So I've tested this little piece. I broke a little piece, you know, accidentally broke a little piece of amber, and we tested that live online to make sure it was real. Which is good. And I bought some malachite towers. That the malachite's real, but they have been injected with a dye, which unfortunately is the bulk of malachite these days on the market. And I, you know, questioned my supplier about it, because I'm very wary of buying that stuff usually. And I set it alight. So, on the stove, and I think there's a video in here somewhere about it. I'll find it and see if I can repost it. So I spend a lot of time, so I want to pass that information on to you, so that you can actually make decisions for yourself about where you buy crystals, how you buy crystals, and how you pick them. And it doesn't matter what I tell you a crystal does, or what a book tells you a crystal does. The point is that you find out for yourself what the crystal does. So what's the time? It's 20 past. Who wants to do a crystal meditation? Who's got a crystal on them? Oh, scrolling around the screen, can't find anything. So Mel, you're new here. Do you have a question? A positive outcome with a contract. Ooh, let me think about that. So would that be like, you could use a couple actually for, you could use a couple. It depends on what, you could go a couple of ways. You could go something like a jade, for example, which will bring you luck and abundance, of course. You could choose something yellow, so like citrine, or I'm thinking golden apatite. You could pick golden calcite, yellow jasper. Any of those beautiful yellow crystals would help you firstly stand in your power. The yellow also is about bringing you luck as well, but standing in your power so that you're strong in your communication. You could also use, I've just seen Lynn's comment there about her fluorite angel. You could also use fluorite to help everybody in the meeting focus. So if it was a meeting, let me think. You could use something like a blue kyanite, Sharon. So the blue kyanite would help you, if it was a meeting, obviously, I'm talking about. So a blue kyanite would help you, keep your throat clear and be clear in your communication, or whoever it was that was doing the negotiating for you. You could also use some chrysocolla, which of course, is my favorite. Beautiful chrysocolla. Check out this piece, it's beautiful. So chrysocolla, I've spoken a lot about chrysocolla and what it does for me. Marianne, sit up. You don't have to close your eyes. Don't leave us. Stay with us. You can just listen. How does that sound? So the chrysocolla. So chrysocolla will connect your throat chakra, your heart chakra, and your solar plexus together. So those three chakras coming together will help you speak from the heart, speak with love, speak with integrity, keep your throat open, and of course help you stand in your power. So those would be my suggestions. But of course, I know that you've got a really large crystal collection, Sharon, so you could tune in to what was happening and then go and ask the crystals which one would be the best ones to support you on the day, which is what I would love you to do. So don't fall asleep, Marianne. Don't close your eyes. Just you can sit with your eyes open, and this is going to be a little bit of a different meditation to hopefully you falling asleep. So if everyone's got a crystal, the purpose of this meditation tonight, and for those of you who have done meditation with me tonight, I never write anything down. They're all just channeled and just whatever comes through. I do like to connect with the divas of the crystals, and they kind of, give me visions and guide me along the way. Good. Keep your eyes open. So holding your crystal, actually, let's get some music on. Don't worry, Marianne, we won't use songs that are hopefully going to put you to sleep. This is one of my favorite songs at the moment. And I just want it to be quiet in the background. So if someone could give me a thumbs up and let me know if you can hear it, if it's too loud. Put my phone on silent might help. I'll wait for a thumbs up. If you can't hear it, let me know. Perfect, thanks Jen. So the purpose of the meditation tonight is for you to get to know the crystal that you are holding. So regardless of what I say about a crystal, or what a book says, or what Google says, the only real true way to find out what a crystal does for you is to work with it. And this process is a process that I would go through myself. So what we're going to do is we're going to cleanse our crystal first. And if you're worried about dropping off to sleep, keep your eyes open. You can either look at me or look at your crystal. Just concentrate. We're going to cleanse our crystal, and then we're going to ask it, we're going to drop in, connect in with the diva of that crystal and the energy of that crystal. And then we're going to ask the crystal a couple of questions. So you might write some notes if you've got a pen and paper, or just keep a memory of them. So just holding your crystal, I'm going to use my crystal sphere tonight. Just holding your crystal in your hand. Oh, we're already getting nice tingles. And the quickest and easiest way to cleanse a crystal is to blow on it. So we always think that we have to use something outside of ourselves, something more. We think that something outside of ourselves is more powerful. But our love for our crystals, our voice, and our breath are more powerful than anything else. So just closing your eyes, and I just always like to say hello, give it a kiss, and just ask for all of the energy that's being stored in the crystal to return to the universe, and the crystal return to its fullest vibration. And then just blowing 3 times. Perfect. And if you can, just sit with your crystal in your hands and just taking some nice breaths. They don't have to be big, forceful breaths, just a little bit deeper than what you would normally take. And if you can, in through your nose and out through your nose. And as you do that, I want you to breathe in the energy from the crystal. If it's a particular colour, you can imagine those colours moving in through your body with your breath. And on your out breath, I want you to send love back to that crystal. And again, if you have a colour, if love is a colour for you, send that colour to the crystal. And just breathing that vibration of the crystal in. And for those of you who are unaware, crystals talk to the cells of our body. They raise our vibration, and they help us move energy that's blocked in our energy centers. And I just want you to put that crystal now up on your heart, against your chest, and breathe in and out. And I just want you to sense in your body where you can feel the energy of the crystal. Now, a lot of people feel the energy in their hands. A lot of people feel the energy somewhere else in their body, in their heart, their throat, their solar plexus, their sacral or their base. But sometimes you don't feel the energy at all. Sometimes you'll receive a vision instead of a feeling. Sometimes you might hear the energy of the crystal. And of course, sometimes you just know what that crystal wants to do, what it wants to say. So I just want you to tune in to that crystal. Can you feel it in your body? Are you receiving a vision? It doesn't matter if you can't hear, feel, see, or sense anything. It comes with practice. We're going to call in now the diva of that particular crystal that you're holding. Now, if you don't have a crystal, you can call upon the diva of clear quartz, which is what I have. So that's all you have to do. I'm calling in the energy and the consciousness, the diva of the clear quartz crystal. And you may feel that energy move into your space in a different way. You might receive a vision or hear the diva. If you haven't communicated with the divas before, they're little tricksters. They're a bit like the fairies. They like to play jokes. I just want you to spend a little minute introducing yourself to your crystal. Hi, my name is. I picked you because of. I really like you because. And now, in order for you to get to know this crystal, we're going to ask it some questions. And I will move reasonably quickly through these, but you can watch this video back and write the questions down. And you can do this with any crystal. So the first question is, what is the purpose of our connection? Tune in and just receive whatever it is that you receive. Might be a thought, another feeling, a symbol, a different vision. You might hear them. What is the purpose of our match? The second question is, how can I best get to know you? Another version of that question is, how can I use you to get to know you? The next question is, how can I serve you? The next question is there an energy center that you would like to work with? Our energy centers are our chakras. The next question is there a time limit to the work we are going to do together? And ordinarily you can ask any number of questions that you would like to ask your crystal. But for tonight, that'll do. And just taking a nice deep breath in through your nose. Thanking the diva as you do, and breathing out. And just thanking your crystal. And if you didn't receive any answers to your questions, I recommend that you sleep with your crystal and write a list of questions that you would like the answers to. And sleep with the crystal either in your hand or underneath your pillow. And put the list of questions underneath your pillow. Sometimes the answers that we're looking for won't be received while we're awake. Sometimes we'll receive those when we're asleep. So that's a really beautiful way. Thank you for those who are still on. I appreciate you being with me. It's a really nice way to connect with your crystals and to find out what it is that they're going to do for you and what you can do for them. Because remember, it's a two-way street. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you've got any questions, please do ask me. And if you do have a question about a crystal, I would love you to ask. Put it in the chat box. So for those who missed the start of my live tonight, I mentioned, oh, thanks, Mel. I mentioned that I'm only going to have a crystal drop on a fortnightly basis, just for a little while, until some other things that I've got going on in the background moves on, or I finish doing some work and get my new coaching packages organised and this other work that I'm doing. Oh, perfect. Thanks, Sharon and Lynn and Lee. So I will, unless anyone has got any questions, I will probably let you go, because I know it's nearly 9 o'clock and normally the sale's going on anyway. But thank you for joining me. I am going to try and do a few more lives. It's fun, and I'm okay with doing crystal meditations. Normally the crystal meditations we go on a bit of a journey and drop down a little bit lower, receive some healing. But I thought tonight might be a nice little light one, so that you can learn how to connect in with your crystals. So thank you so much for joining me. I am very, very grateful for all of you being here and supporting my business. and we will see you next week for our crystal drop. And hopefully I've received some new little beauties coming in the mail, and also have got a couple little more Christmas trees. So anybody who's looking for a Christmas in July, or wants to prepare themselves for Christmas, I do have a couple of little Christmas trees coming up next week. And of course it's coming up, we're starting to buy crystals for Halloween. So if anybody's looking for anything special for Halloween, do let me know what it is you're after, and I can pick up some of those. I generally don't buy too many of those gimmicky type crystals, but every now and again I do get a bit carried away because they're cute. So anyway, all right, much love to all of you. Thanks, Belinda. Thank you for joining in, and I look forward to seeing you all again soon. Have a lovely evening. Bye for now.